Alright, so in this video we are going to be talking about Mochi and it coming to GPO. So obviously we've known. Oh wait, first I want to say that I did get this video idea from Sly Kage. He made a video a few days ago about Mochi coming to GPO, and this was kind of a last resort video, but I don't want my video to kind of just copy his, so I didn't watch it. I just saw the very beginning of it. So hopefully my ideas aren't too similar to his. Hopefully there's some originality to it. I don't know if that's a word. And yeah, just disclaimer, throwing that out there now. But what was I saying? Mochi is coming to GPO. We know that. We've gotten sneaks for a while. We've gotten sneaks for Mochi that I think date back since before Update 4 even dropped. And I just want to say this now. Really doubt Mochi's dropping in Update 4.5. It's definitely dropping in just Update 5. If I had to guess, it's definitely Update 5. But yeah, that's enough of that. Mochi's kit, the sneaks that we've received so far, we've received a sneak of just a big Mochi arm with armament hockey and without armament hockey, just like a model. It looks really good. I love the details on it. It looks great. And we've also received a whole YouTube video from the noob showing what looks to be an ult move for Mochi. It's very extra and cinematic, but a lot of the clips are repeated over and over, for a cinematic feel. But at the core value of the move, you just swing your Mochi arm around, getting NPC stuck to it, and then you do one big slam down. It's straight out the anime actually, which is really interesting, but I'll play that video now. Yeah, so that's the video. It actually does look like a really cool move. It looks like it's an ult, so that's really dope. But yeah, so the only other leak we got other than those two from Mochi, I'm pretty sure these are the only leaks, is one with just the noob with Mochi on his arm. I don't know what it means. I don't know if that's for a move or anything. It could be for how Phoenix Talons was, or if it's just there strictly for show and that's it, or if it's just not even going to be implemented in the game. It's just something he did, but I just thought might as well bring it up. But yeah, that's enough of the leaks and what exactly we know. The rest of this video I think will be speculation. So I want to discuss moves that I think could be implemented, or just things that could be implemented with Mochi that would make it better, or just ideas to throw out there in general. So first thing, in case you don't know, Mochi is a special paramecia. It's not a Logia, and it's not a paramecia. It's an weird in-between. So Katakuri in the anime, while combining his paramecia Devil Fruit, which allows him to become Mochi, and his observation hockey abilities called Future Sight, which lets him see into the future when he's focused, he can mimic the abilities of a Logia by simply dodging attacks. He's not using a Logia reflex that allows him to automatically, have attacks pass through him. He's doing it manually, right? Which allows him to dodge attacks that even use hockey, which begs the question, how do you make that work and still have it be balanced if you implemented it at all? Which I could understand why they wouldn't implement it. It seems like it's a difficult thing to do, but I feel like you'd have a lot of mad players if you didn't implement it, because it's kind of a key thing. It was really prominent in the anime. But yeah, the best idea I could come up with is it's just they base it off of whether or not you have observation hockey on, and if someone knocks away your observation, then you lose your dodges, if that makes sense. So it's it's kind of hard to explain. Let's say you have infinite dodges pretty much if you have the fruit, but someone can still knock away your dodges with a guard break or something. That's kind of what I mean. So moves that would break dodges, you know, anyway would still do it, but having Mochi would pretty much just make your dodges infinite because you're using a special paramecia, right? Or they could just like scrap the whole idea, because I guess technically Mochi isn't the reason it's a special paramecia. Mochi is just a special paramecia because of the way Katakuri uses it. Like if any other normal person had it, it would just be a normal paramecia, I'm pretty sure. Like it wouldn't really change. But that's just me guessing. I'm not 100% positive on that. It is a weird thing, and I have no idea how they're gonna do it. But just throwing out thoughts. The next thing I want to cover are its moves. I don't know what they could do for transportation moves, other than that one donut move that they use in Blocks Fruits as a transportation move. But personally, I don't even think Mochi needs a transportation move. There's fruits out there that don't have them. Zushi has one, but it's a waste. Same applies to Mera. It's only useful for dungeons, really. But it's really just like, fruits don't need transportation moves, in my opinion. I don't know. I know people are going to disagree with that, and people like transportation moves, but I feel like if they're not flying transportation moves, then they're kind of useless. It could make you go fast, and that could be cool and all, but that would only really end up coming in handy if you're on like Alabasta or something. So yeah, I think a transportation move would just end up being a waste in Mochi's case. So the next thing I want to talk about is the explosive or fried Mochi move. It looks dope. It looks like it could be a really cool move. It could play similarly to like a Haiken move, where it's short range. It has like an explosion at the end, like a AoE. But I think this AoE shouldn't have to hit a surface. It should just be after a certain range, or if it hits a surface. So yeah, it'd just be a real interesting move. Apply some burn damage, stuff like that. Another move I'd like to see, these next three moves, if I think it was Buzzka is what it's called, the move Danoop is already finished. If that's not the ult, which it probably definitely is, then these could also either be ults, or they could be downscaled and just become normal moves. However, whatever works, I just want to chuck these out there. There's one where it's similar to Ice Age in the sense that you change your environment to like this, like you cover your environment in this material, and it's when Katakuri created like a bunch of dough everywhere to get Luffy stuck. That could be really dope, because like the Mochi could do damage, but it could be mainly a stun lock based fruit like Ice Age. So that could be cool. You know, it would definitely be interesting for PvE and PvP if they made it do a lot of damage instead of the stun lock idea. Like maybe it would have a little bit of stun, but not as much as Ice Age, but it would be more of it on the damage side. That could be dope, especially PvP and PvE. Like especially in PvE, I mean, like dungeons, I could see that being a pretty useful move. Then the other one is I don't know what it's called, but it's like it's not a Gatling. It's a barrage of punches that come out of like the sky or like walls. They don't actually come from Katakuri or the user. That could easily be done as a normal move and easily be done as an ult. If you want it to be an ult, I say you make it AoE and you make it scatter around you and like everywhere. It's not focused on a single target, and boom, that's an ult, and you make it do a lot of damage. And if you want it to just be, you know, a normal move, then it's just maybe like 1 or 2 punches and not a whole flurry of them that just come out of the sky and they just swing at the opponent. That could also be a really interesting move that you could do. A lot of these, like I said, these moves can be applied as either a normal move or an ult. If Buzz Cut isn't already an ult, which it probably is, just based off of how well animated it is. Ults are generally more effort is put into them. So yeah. And then the final move, actually no, the second to final move I want to cover is the one that he did to emulate Gear 3rd, wherever he made his fist like way bigger than Luffy's. And I thought that was a very interesting move. Like it could be, I think that one could only be really done as an ult though. I realize that now, because I feel like if it's not an ult, then it would just be like incredibly broken, a high damage, huge AoE move. Like I don't know how you could downplay that as anything but an ult. So yeah, but I just think it would be nonetheless a very interesting move to see. Now for the final move that I want to cover is it's not actually that cool. I don't know why I saved it for last. I saved it for last kind of just because I remembered it now. But a Gatling move, you can never go wrong with a Gatling move. what's it called? Gum has one. It would be very similar to Gum, considering the fact that Mochi is used very similarly to Gum. If you don't know, like, it was just Katakuri countered Luffy with Gum. I'm not gonna say too much about their fight because, you know, spoilers and everything, but they do fight. If you didn't know, I don't know if you'd count that as a spoiler. If you didn't know, like, come on, everyone knows about this. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling that for you now, but it's whatever. Yeah, it would just be a Gatling move. There's not much to say on a Gatling move. I'm realizing that now. It'd just be, maybe it would have longer range. That way, you know, you can actually get it off without being punished, unlike Gum Gum's Gatling, which you, like, gotta really play well, and you gotta make sure they're not using a very long range weapon if you don't want to get punished. But yeah, that's pretty much just my thoughts on Mochi. That's everything I think that could be implemented. I'm not saying, like, implement all of these things. I'm not even saying this is how many moves should be implemented. I'm just throwing out the moves that I saw in the anime that I think would be cool to be seen in GPO. Like, I think they could be implemented very well if they're done right. But I know Danube and whoever else is working on this probably working real hard, so I'm not gonna ask for the world or anything. But the only thing that I'm skeptical about, that I think a lot of people are either going to be disappointed with or going to be very pleased with, it's probably going to be very mixed, is how they handle it being a special paramecia. I'm very curious on how they're going to do it, because I think everyone's in the dark for that. Nobody really has an idea for what they're going to do. We're just praying, really. Yeah, but that's my 2 cents. I know Devil Fruits generally have only 5 moves, and, you know, their mobility move. But again, I think Mochi would just be better without a mobility move. So yeah, that's it. That's everything I wanted to say on Mochi. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't do a bad take. Hopefully I don't get hate for this or anything. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.